Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope y'all had a great Wednesday. Hope y'all are having a great work week so far. Ida continues to plague the eastern U.S. as right now there is an ongoing major tornado threat in New Jersey. It's moving into northern New Jersey, actually starting to get rather close to New York City. This is ongoing. It moved through Trenton, New Jersey a little while ago and it looks like a wedge tornado. It looks like something you see out of Oklahoma in the springtime. It's insane, almost unheard of as we're in September 1st. But I want to mention that is ongoing right now. Like I've told y'all, I'm not able to really do a live stream or anything when it comes to discussing ongoing severe weather events. But I'm sure there's a lot of people doing that right now, a lot of big time channels that do kind of what I do with the weather, that has live streams going on with updates. But it's moving through New Jersey. There's also a significant flooding threat ongoing that will continue to be ongoing as you into places like Boston overnight and things like that. And then there's also Tropical Storm Larry that will be upgraded to a hurricane probably overnight. This is an interesting storm that has been trending in a more dangerous trend over the last 3 days, and we're going to talk about that. Is there any kind of threats? Not right now, but there could be. We're going to watch this. This has like characteristics of almost Hurricane Florence in a way, and us in the Carolinas really know what Hurricane Florence did. But before we get going, if you have not subscribed, if you haven't liked the video, definitely do that. I do weather videos every single day, and I also am a storm chaser, and I like to get deep into the action and try to get live action for y'all and try to get y'all good content. So thank y'all for the amazing support. Thoughts and prayers are still up for Louisiana and everybody affected by Ida. I think Ida will end up being a retired tropical system as the remnants of it is merging with a trough, a cold front that will ultimately bring us drier air and is really hitting areas hard right now. So obviously there's a lot of big time populated areas that are being hit hard right now as we speak by a big tornado threat. So let's go on and break down what we know now and get y'all a good update here as my computer tries to load here. Here we go. So going forward, we're going to look at the NAM. We're going to take a look at this. This is what is going on kind of right now. You have a ton of heavy rain moving in the southern areas of New York City. It's been raining like crazy in areas of Pennsylvania. I'm interested on how much rain they actually get once this is over. It's got a sharp cutoff, but moving forward here, as we get into the overnight hours, it's going to get into Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and it is going to rain extremely hard, fast, but once it clears out, it's done, and fall air mass comes in behind it. So Boston, it is going to pour all the way into the morning hours, but when it's over, it's over. We're getting into tomorrow morning, and cooler, dry air begins to filter in, and I'll show you all that here in a second. And here it goes. So dew points in the 40s and 50s and even low 60s. That's more comfortable air. You can see this on your screen here. Dew points are still in the 70s. Basically, where the remnants of Ida still is. You've got a moist sector that's still flowing in here from the southeast or southwest. But as the cold front pushes the rest of Ida through, it clears out, and look at these dew points in the 50s and 60s to begin to move in. It's far south is North Georgia, North Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina. I think areas and even in the Carolinas, especially in Virginia, points north, obviously the Mid-Atlantic. You're going to even feel a difference. Like, for instance, I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. Areas even pretty far south. You'll feel a difference tomorrow morning when you wake up across the Carolinas, Virginia, places that were really humid today, more typical of August. You'll wake up tomorrow and you'll feel a little bit of a difference. The temperatures will probably be in the 60s in some areas. It'll probably be a little bit of a breeze and it'll feel more like fall. So definitely be expecting that. Cooler, dry air will begin to continue to filter in, and I really think tomorrow night, Thursday night, I think that might be a night for even people in the southeast that could really open their windows and let some more fresh air move in. And I think areas are going to see the upper 50s potentially, even as deep far south as Georgia and the Carolinas. So let's flip this topic to the tropics. And we have Larry out here, which will be a hurricane overnight. Kate, which is no problem. The remnants of Ida in this area of interest, it's not going to do anything. Larry is what we're going to talk about. Larry has the potential to affect someone. Now, who is a big question, but Bermuda needs to watch out for this system, and even the Lesser Antilles. If the Lesser Antilles gets into a question, if they if they basically get into the topic of discussion about potentially being impacted, let me slow down so I can talk a little more clear for you guys. If the Lesser Antilles, these guys right here, start to look like a threatening scenario for Larry, then we have to watch out for the rest of the Caribbean islands too, in the southeast, in the eastern U.S. in general. But that is not a threat right now. But we're going to break down some trends. There's been some ugly trends over the last couple of days. Look at the latest guidance for Larry. It is forecast to become a major hurricane as early as Friday morning. So it's forecast to become a hurricane here in the next update or two. It's a 70-mile-per-hour storm, but we have to watch this cone. Florence had a similar cone like this. A lot of people thought it was going to go out to sea, but it got bogged down by a ridge of high pressure that trended in the models. And we all know the rest of the history of that and how the flooding and damage that did. But here you go. This is what Larry is. Larry had almost like an eye signature a little earlier. Since then, it's not as distinct, but it's a very healthy looking tropical storm that will likely be a hurricane overnight. You look at the latest model intensity guidance, about over half of the model and guidance, the model intensity guidance shows this becoming a major hurricane. So this is going to be our next major hurricane. Looking forward here, this is Larry down here. Now check out what happens here. In time, Larry begins to strengthen. As you know, the lower this number gets, the stronger the hurricane, right? The lower the millibar, the stronger the hurricane. As we're getting into Friday morning, this is getting close to a major hurricane. Look at the ridging of high pressure on top of it. You're thinking, uh-oh, the ridge of high pressure is right on top of the storm. Well, if you watch it, it weakens and almost displaces to the northeast. That allows the storm to begin to tick northwest and eventually north. But I don't know if you see this little dot right here. This is Bermuda. Anybody watching from Bermuda, you need to watch Larry. Larry gets awfully close to Bermuda as we get into around this time next week. So it's about a week out. But if you back it up, each time I click this button, this is the run prior. So this is the GFS run prior. This is what I'm about to show you is a trend. So we back it up, 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 back it up. So this is basically this right here. This is Larry. But this is from the 18Z run 2 days ago. So there's been 8 runs since then. So if we fast forward all the way to the present GFS run, check this out. Check out how this trends more and more south and west. I'm going to go forward. Look at this. See how it ticks further and further southwest? That is not good because it's basically the models are trying to figure out two main factors. Ridge of high pressure and a trough that could potentially bring the eastern U.S. another cold front. More fall-like air mass, but you have the ridging of high pressure and you have this trough. So somehow this is going to figure out a way to curve out to sea. But you have to watch out for a couple of things. One is, does some kind of ridge of high pressure build over this area and pushes us a little bit closer to the eastern U.S.? This trough, is this going to be a pretty strong cold front? Is this going to influence the system? Is it going to figure out some kind of way to slide in between a ridging of high pressure and a trough? There's a lot to figure out here. You look at the latest GFS, and they continue to tick west. Now a lot of members has this plowing into Bermuda as a significant hurricane. You look at runs prior in this and look how they back up further north and east. Now you look at the most recent run and look how much closer and west it is. So the eastern U.S. has to watch out for this. You have to watch out the pattern in place. You look at the latest European model, and going forward here, this is what the latest European model says, develops this into a major hurricane, category 3 or 4, and begins to make that turn as you get into early next week, and actually makes, not landfall maybe, but it definitely starts to significantly impact Bermuda as you get into late next week. So the European is actually a little bit further west than even the GFS on the operational run. So this is a trend we have to watch. 2 days ago we were all saying this is pretty much out to sea, but you just cannot say that with this storm yet. So right now this is the European ensembles. As far as the attract, notice none of them have it hitting the eastern U.S., but if you look at the runs prior to this, they were curving way out here. Now they're curving a lot further west. So it's just a trend we have to watch. And what's What's really steering the big-time strength of the storm, one obvious thing is sea surface temperatures. Or this time of the year, they're going to be warm enough for any kind of significant tropical development, unless you get the system way up here where there's significantly cooler sea surface temperatures. But something that happened to Ida in the Gulf of Mexico is what you call anticyclonic flow, or an outflow, which is basically extremely favorable upper level winds that basically help to ventilate the storm. And this is something that the storm is going to have. You notice the directional flow of these upper level winds basically creating this moist environment and this outflow for this system. This helps ventilate the storm and basically helps promote significant strengthening, and that is going to be occurring for a significant time period for this storm. You also look at the ridging of high pressure. If you look at the storm right here, and this is for late this weekend, overnight Saturday into Sunday, I'm going to back the runs up, but check it out. Check it out as I want to, here, let's get it up here. So we're going to put it right here. So this is around next Monday. You look at the runs prior, and look how the ridge of high pressure kind of bumps more northeast. But if you go fast forward into the present run, bam, 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 look how the ridge of high pressure trends a little bit further southwest each time. So you have to watch that. We don't know what the pattern is going to be as we get into this weekend and early next week, but we have to watch this. At the same time, you have what looks to be, and it's kind of far out, a pretty significant cold front that might be trying to sweep through the eastern U.S. This would be a player on trying to steer this out to sea, but the timing on this is, you have to watch. You have to watch it. So there's a lot to figure out. There's a lot going on right now in New Jersey, but Larry could be something we have to watch here, especially as we get into this weekend. So no immediate threats for tropical development, but we need to watch this system. So that's all I got, guys. I'm a little rusty on my videos. I'm sure y'all could tell. I'm a little all over the place. So I got into a good flow when I was talking about Ida, but when I stepped away for a few days, I've gotten rusty. So for anybody who can, the way I'm slurring my words, I'll get better and I'll get back in the groove of things over the next couple of days. So thank y'all for the amazing support. Appreciate all y'all, and y'all have a great rest of y'all's night, and stay safe up there in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast with the flooding and tornado threat. God bless all y'all.